Today on Delta Safari, I want to further explore the area known as the Causeway. I'll go over a few old favorites and introduce you to some new experiences to be found on this 7-mile expanse of highway. I'm your host, Stu Donald. Let's head to the Delta. For thousands of travelers each year, the Africatown Bridge is their first point of entry to the Mobile-Tensaw Delta. The views from the twin suspension bridge as it crosses the Mobile River are awe-inspiring. Below lies the Delta in all its glory as it empties into historic Mobile Bay, while the Mobile skyline stands like a sentinel over the scene. Shortly after exiting the bridge, you'll find yourself on the westernmost end of Battleship Memorial Parkway. Or if you prefer, you'll be at the beginning of US Highway 31, a major north-south highway connecting South Alabama to northern Michigan. But to locals, it is simply referred to as the Causeway. It is a 7-mile, 4-lane divided highway for most of its length. It is very susceptible to flooding and is usually submerged during hurricane storm surges. It is also host to 2 state parks, the state-owned Five Rivers Delta Resource Center, and oh so much more. In 1962, a campaign was launched to bring the USS Alabama home to her namesake state. She was to be restored as a memorial to those that served in the United States Armed Forces. Through a statewide fundraising campaign from 1962 to 1964, the school children of Alabama raised almost $100,000 in nickels, dimes, and quarters to help bring her to Mobile. Their legacy of giving has been enjoyed by thousands of people each year. In addition to the BB-60 and the aircraft pavilion, the park features a fishing pier, multiple picnic areas, a nature trail with bird-watching tower, memorials for various conflicts including the 9/11 attacks, a display of tanks and artillery as well as the USS Drum. The Mobile River, Spanish River, Tensaw River, Blakely River, and the Appalachia River. These are the 5 rivers that make up the Delta. The confluence of these 5 rivers forms Mobile Bay. Where the Delta and the Bay meet, you will find the Five Rivers Delta Resource Center, an incredible facility with an exhibit hall, learning center, theater, welcome center, hiking trails, picnic areas, conference center, and reception hall. Also, there's a good deal of free bank fishing up and down Battleship Parkway, or the Causeway as we call it. Because of its location precisely where the Delta meets Mobile Bay, when shore fishing from the Causeway, you can expect to pick up a few more saltwater species like flounder, redfish, croaker, and sheepshead, in addition to the usual freshwater species found throughout the rest of the Delta. Luke and I just recently checked out our next destination, Mare State Park, with an overnight camping trip. There's a link to a more detailed episode about that trip down below. In fact, you'll also find links to detailed trips to Five Rivers and to Battleship Memorial Park as well. Now, growing up on this old Delta, I never really got a chance to visit Mare, so I was delighted when I arrived and found one of the most beautiful RV camping sites I've ever seen in my life. This place is absolutely stunning, and I see why many consider it the best state park in the system. There's also a huge fishing pier, 300 feet out, 200 feet from side to side at the T. They have a standard boat launch and a kayak and canoe boat launch. They also do kayak and canoe rentals. There's a bird watching trail on the site, as well as regular hiking trails that kind of serpentine through the woods. They also have a beach and a shore fishing area. I'm telling you, Mare State Park is the complete package. The Eastern Shore Trail runs 32 miles along the east side of Mobile Bay from Spanish Fort to Weeks Bay. It's not all an ideal path. Some of the route utilizes higher traffic roads and is more sidewalk than trail, but there are some scenic off-road sections that make for a great hike as you pass through the communities of Daphne, Montrose, Fairhope, Battles Wharf, and Point Clear on your way to Weeks Bay Nature Preserve. The trail is mostly concrete or asphalt, but because of the wide variation in grade, you will encounter elevated boardwalks and high-rise bridges, both wood and metal. You can stop to swim, fish, picnic, or enjoy nature trails at several points along the trail's route. The trail makes for a great day of biking, so this fall I plan to bike the entire trail, so look for that episode in the future. Nestled at the southeasternmost corner of the Delta, Spanish Fort is rich in heritage and continues to have an eye towards the future through managed growth. Although it has seen substantial growth over the past 10 years, Spanish Fort has maintained its small town village concept. Incorporated in July of 1993, Spanish Fort quickly grew from a footprint of 1,542 acres to approximately 17,561 acres, consisting of approximately 27 square miles in Baldwin County, Alabama. The city has also grown economically since its incorporation with an economic base of commercial centers, including the Eastern Shore Center and Spanish Fort Town Center. More on that later. It is also the city of record to many of the top restaurants on the Causeway. Daphne, Alabama is a community rich with heritage, pride, nature, small-town neighborhoods, hometown spirit, progress, and is perhaps most famous for being one of the few places in the world to experience the phenomenon known as a jubilee. A jubilee, generally considered a time of great rejoicing, holds a special meaning around Mobile Bay. To folks around Daphne and the rest of the Eastern Shore, it means an event which brings blue crabs, shrimp, and fish swimming from the depths of the bay into the shallow waters along the shoreline, just waiting to be scooped up by those looking to fill their ice chests. Generally, the bottom fish, such as flounder, catfish, and stingrays, are the most effective. Crabs are almost always a part of the event as well. In 2010, the paved path was designated a National Recreation Trail. Everyone's favorite section is, of course, Gator Alley Boardwalk in Nappy. This wooden pathway overlooking Olive Creek is a great place to spot wildlife, including, you guessed it, gators. It seems only fitting that on the southeast corner of the Delta you will find one of the greatest places on earth. Redneck Disneyland, hillbilly heaven. I'm talking about Bass Pro Shops. Johnny Morris, founder and CEO of Bass Pro Shops, got his start in 1972 by selling fishing tackle out of the back of his father's store. Since then, Johnny has earned a reputation as one of the most visionary and influential retailers of the last 50 years. Today, he is known as a retail and travel destination pioneer. Johnny's values were strongly shaped by his parents. Both were born in 1911 to very humble beginnings in the heart of the Ozarks in Willard, Missouri. His mother, Jenny, was one of 10 children growing up in a 2-bedroom house. His father, John A. Morris, grew up poor and was raised primarily by his great-aunt. A decorated World War II veteran, he proudly served his country and participated in the Battle of the Bulge. Afterwards, he returned home to Missouri and became a successful merchant in the Springfield area. Johnny's parents both loved to hunt and fish and soon shared their passions with their son. From an early age, Johnny understood how fishing and hunting fostered a special respect and appreciation for nature and wildlife. At age 21, Johnny fell in love with the emerging sport of bass fishing and spent 5 years on the professional circuit. After noticing growing interest in the sport, Johnny started Bass Pro Shops in 8 square feet of space in the back of his father's liquor store in Springfield, Missouri, the company's sole location for the first 13 years of business. Johnny's passion for the outdoors and his feel for the products and shopping experiences desired by outdoor enthusiasts helped transform the industry. Today, there are more than 200 Bass Pro Shops in Cabela locations. Guided by the visionary leadership of their founder, Johnny Morris, Bass Pro Shops is creating an unprecedented alliance of over 200 million passionate customers, team members, industry partners, and leading conservation organizations to make a significant impact in the communities and the future of the great outdoors. Hey Delta, tell me about Bass Pro Shops.
BPS Direct, LLC, doing business as Bass Pro Shops, is an American privately held retailer which specializes in hunting, fishing, camping, and other related outdoor recreation merchandise. With headquarters in Springfield, Missouri, Bass Pro Shops has a workforce of about 40,000 folks.
Just down the road from Bass Pro Shops is the Fort Park at Spanish Fort Center. The Fort is a vibrant event district sponsoring locally inspired food and beverage concepts. The Fort is an imaginative entertainment hangout composed of repurposed shipping containers placed next to the Spanish Fort Center. Inside, you will find a number of eclectic eateries and bars where you can sample an assortment of craft brews, wine, and cocktails. Don't forget to check out their many events, as they have all forms of entertainment from live bands to local artists to classic cars. Open mic night, anyone? At the time of filming, the food options included Arepa Bar Latin Food, Blues Burger, Boom's Thai Kitchen, Humble Pie Pizza and Bar, Beaker's Coffee, Snow Biz, and just down the road, try Mandina's for a touch of New Orleans class. On the grounds at the Fort, you will find a playground, splash pad, and an outdoor stage that hosts live acts throughout the year. The Fort is open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and they are closed on Monday. The Fort is your family's go-to destination for food, fun, and music.
At least click it one time. Click it. Click it real good. Click it.